Hi, I'm Jocelyn with Circle Time Success, and today we're talking about W sitting. Now, if you're not familiar with the term, what it means is when a child sits down and instead of sitting with their legs crisscross or straight out, they actually sit down on their knees and spread out their feet so they point to the back. So basically what they're doing is really creating a stable foundation for their body to sit upon. Now the problem is with this is we've got a couple issues perhaps going on that we want to stop right away. Now before I go any further, I want to say that kids can move in and out of W sitting for very short periods of time, and that is not a problem or a reason for concern. It's when we have our children sitting in our W sit for an extended amount of time. Now for me as a music teacher, I'm often with children for sitting 5 to 10 minutes sometimes in our circle. That's if I'm keeping them engaged. But then we of course get up and move. But because of that extended time, it's really important that in the forefront of my mind, I'm remembering to get those kids sitting crisscross applesauce or legs out straight. So again, let's go back to 3 reasons why a child may be sitting this way. Number 1, they may actually have a structural abnormality in their hips. So they may have been born with something that's causing their hips to actually rotate in, and it feels better to sit this way. Number 2, they may have core weakness. So their abs or their trunk or their core, whatever you want to call it, is very weak. And so when they sit with their legs splayed out like this in the W sit, it feels more secure, more safe for them, like they're not going to tip over. Now the third reason is simply habit. So it's a bad habit that they've developed, and so every time they go to sit down, it's their go-to way to sit. Now why is it of concern? Let's go through a couple different reasons, and hopefully you'll recognize why you're going to want to address this in your kids with you sitting at circle anytime that you see them moving into the W sit. So the first one is because when we sit in the W sit, we actually put stress on the joints. And this can lead to problems down the road, such as a child becoming pigeon-toed and as an adult having pain in their back. So very important that we recognize that. Now the second reason why we want to make sure that our kids sit crisscross applesauce or legs out straight is because when they sit in the W sit, they actually have decreased mobility. That means they're more difficult for them to move from side to side and maybe to reach over and grab something. And also it makes coordination difficult. So instead of being able to work on coordination, it's actually inhibited. And even passing something from the left hand to the right hand can be difficult for them. And we want to make sure that they have optimum opportunities to be able to cross that midline, since that is so important in their development. And the third reason why it is so important to make sure that we are addressing this issue is because when children continue to sit like this, they're only allowing their core to continue to not get stronger. And we know that when children and adults have weak cores, it can play a role in the entire function of the body and how well the body can move. So, how do we get our kids to stop? The best way is to really create a new habit. And I, of course, found that singing to them and giving that instruction and doing it over and over and over again can really help them develop this new habit. So as I've talked before, songs are a really great way to send directions. So I've written a little song that you can use, and you can obviously change the words to whatever works for you, or even change the tune to something that is maybe you'll be able to remember more. But the idea is finding a song that you can sing over and over and over again to remind them of how you want them to sit. So my song goes like this. Sit down, let's begin. Legs out straight, then pull them in. Now, when we're singing this song, it's important that we are knowing that we're moving from perhaps a stand-up activity to a sit-down activity. So awesome, because right now we're also getting them to hear that we want them to sit down, which we want to remember that when we send the direction in a song, they'll be more likely to hear it, and also they'll know what to do. We want to make sure we set our kids up for success. So if they're not sure what you want of them next, they're going to maybe doing something completely different, and it's not because they're trying to be disruptive. They just simply don't know. So the song gives that added benefit, as well as continuing to remind them, sit down on the floor, put our legs out straight, and then pull them in. So that could be crisscross applesauce or even up to your chest. Now, we're not super concerned with this when we see it happening in children 2 and under. But hey, why not develop those habits right off the bat? So with our younger ones who don't have the ability to get into crisscross applesauce, simply just pull their legs out straight as you sing the song with a smile on your face and keep it happy. So that is my tip from Circle Time Success. Don't forget, keep it fun, keep it fresh. That's Circle Time Success.
Keep it fun, keep it fresh.